crazy. It's kind of like Black Friday, except it's Groundhog Day. It just repeats over and over again.
As shoppers take advantage of tax-free back-to-school shopping, how the break is impacting a local business. Plus, Parkland students and activists protest the NRA's role in blocking what they call common-sense gun laws, and how the red tide is putting a hold on a popular weekend event. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 6:30.
Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. We start tonight with a persistent red tide bloom from our local beaches, also affecting the water in Sarasota Bay, and an annual event usually expected to draw hundreds of boaters to our area over the weekend. Well, now that's been postponed from its original date. ABC 7's Erica Jackson joins us live from City Island to explain why Aquapalooza has been rescheduled for next month. Erica?
Adam, good evening. Aquapalooza is an annual party on the water for boaters, and it's an opportunity for a nearby marina to showcase this waterway. But the party will have to wait until Sarasota Bay is clear of dead fish. Check out what Sarasota Bay looked like yesterday. Brown, murky water filled with dead fish and eel. Conditions have improved today. There's still discoloration in the water, but the number of dead fish has decreased drastically. Organizers of Aquapalooza say boaters come from Clearwater, Fort Myers, and Naples for this event, and they didn't want them experiencing respiratory issues or get a bad impression of our waters.
We kind of look at the reports from Mote Marine. We talked to a few people over there, and we decided that just for the overall safety and the smell and atmosphere, it probably makes sense to postpone the event.
Now you can look behind me, you can see what the conditions look like today. As I said, there is some brown water, but you can see behind me there's really no dead fish in the water. So a big improvement from yesterday. Organizers think rescheduling Aquapalooza to September 1st is actually going to be a good thing in the long run, and we'll tell you why tonight at 11. Reporting live in Sarasota, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Erica. And ABC 7 has been out in front of this season's red tide crisis, covering this story from every angle. Log on to mysuncoast.com to access our catalog of coverage, including answers to your most frequently asked questions. The latest red tide report in our area was released by Mote Marine Laboratory this afternoon, and here are those findings. Manatee Beach and Coquina Beach are seeing thick red drift right now and moderate respiratory irritation, while Lido Key and Siesta Key are reporting intense respiratory irritation. Also, Nokomis Beach and the North Jetty also seeing thick red drift and moderate irritation, while Venice Beach has some as well. Manasota Beach only reporting slight irritation. And now we take it over to Steve Newman in for Wendy Ross tonight for a check on our first look weather forecast tonight. Steve?
And it was hot. Despite all that and the irritation, we were irritated from a lot of hot weather. And it felt even hotter than that because of the humidity. These are feel-like temperatures, 97 at Sarasota at this hour, the same at Longboat Key, 100 at Arcadia. The only potential relief is from thunderstorms approaching the area, but our high today of 94, 4 degrees warmer than normal, and about close to normal for the overnight low. Now here's the hope for us. More thunderstorms may develop in the interior and come over us, but right now they've been missing most of the Suncoast. A few down in South Sarasota County and Charlotte County moving offshore, and the overnight forecast from our future radar model shows more developing 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock, moving offshore with a light offshore wind, and temperatures slowly cooling off as we move through the evening hours thanks to those storms or the outflow from them, cooling off from the near 90 degrees now to the 70s overnight. Our full forecast in a few minutes, Adam.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. Venice man Gavin Hill is in custody tonight after deputies say he initiated a high-speed chase in a stolen vehicle, evading capture for more than 16 hours. It all started at the Sunoco gas station on South Tamiami Trail in Venice Friday night around 8:30. A man at the gas station telling deputies Hill approached his car, started an argument, then kicked the man to the ground, fleeing in the stolen car. Deputies chased that man onto I-75, where Hill eventually crashed the stolen vehicle at the Clark Road exit. Then Hill fled on foot into the Camelot Lakes subdivision, evading capture until he was found at 1:30 this afternoon. Activists, demonstrators, and survivors of gun violence gathering in Fairfax, Virginia this afternoon for the National March on the NRA. In attendance, students and parents from Florida's Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. ABC's Daria Albinger tells us what they hope to accomplish with today's protest.
Outside of the National Rifle Association's Virginia headquarters, demonstrators calling out the gun lobby for its role in blocking gun control legislation and for its continued defense of unrestricted sales of the AR-15 and similar weapons.
United, we will overcome a Russian-funded NRA that puts profit before life, forgets the meaning of well-regulated, and most of all, threatens our democracy.
Organizers with a number of demands, including banning high-capacity magazines, the institution of universal background checks, revoking the nonprofit status of the NRA, and calling for more research on gun violence and its impact on public health. Among the demonstrators, survivors of the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School shooting. 17 students and staff members gunned down there last February.
I will never have the kind of fear and anxiety that my daughter did running down the hall at school with an AR-15 at her back. I do not care what the gun lobby thinks of me. We will break that lobby's grip on our legislators, and we will win.
The NRA also being targeted by New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo. The gun lobby claiming in a lawsuit that it's suffering grave financial harm, saying Cuomo and state regulators made it clear to banks and insurers that it is bad business in New York to do business with the NRA. The lawsuit asking the court to have the Cuomo administration cease its anti-NRA practices. For his part, Cuomo said Friday, the state is filing a motion to dismiss the lawsuit, adding, if I could have put the NRA out of business, I would have done it 20 years ago. Daria Albinger, ABC News, New York.
New developments tonight in the renewed pushback against Florida's Stand Your Ground law. A Florida sheriff recently cited that law for not charging the man who shot an unarmed black man during a parking lot dispute. Now Democrats are asking the Secretary of State to officially poll legislators on whether they would support holding a special session to amend or repeal that law. Currently, the law allows people to use deadly force without retreating if they believe they are in imminent danger of death or great bodily harm. The National NAACP has now joined the Florida branch in demanding a federal investigation into the murder of Marquise McLaughlin, or what they call the murder of Marquise McLaughlin, the man gunned down during that altercation. In First Alert traffic tonight, crews are working to fix not one but two water main breaks in downtown Bradenton. Detours are now in effect around parts of Manatee Avenue from 8th Street West to 10th Street West. The first break happened when a communications contractor was drilling through a water main, sending a stream of water down the road. The initial estimates to repair that road may run up to 2 weeks, but no word if the additional damage this morning may push that back even further. Well, we're just 9 days away from the start of the new school year, and this weekend it's time to stock up. The annual back-to-school sales tax holiday is happening now and will run through Sunday at midnight. During that time, clothes, shoes, and accessories, $60 or less per item, are tax-free. So are basic school supply items, less than $15 per item. We spoke to the owner of Sarasota school uniform store Children's World, who says that while the holiday is good for shoppers, it is hard on workers.
It used to be a full week with 2 weekends, so it was great because it was spread out and it wasn't near as crazy. Then for a few years they didn't do it at all, and then they brought it back, and pretty much since they brought it back, except for I believe 1 year, it's just been a weekend, and it just makes it so much harder because everybody's trying to take advantage of the tax savings in a very compressed amount of time.
And speaking of back-to-school shopping, this time of year can also be hard for families, especially those with a tight budget. That's why, to help those families, volunteers from Gettle Automotive Group were at both the Walmart on Cattleman Road in Sarasota and the Walmart on State Road 64 in Bradenton, collecting supplies and backpacks to donate to the Manatee and Sarasota Education Foundations. Hundreds of Sarasota County students will not be starting the school year off without all of those necessary supplies, thanks to the Tiny Hands Foundation and its volunteers who came out today to the Boys and Girls Club of Sarasota. That group packing over 1,500 backpacks with school supplies to be given out to at-risk children right here in our community.
Well, it's really a community effort. You know, we're very, very fortunate to have a community that cares. We probably have about 100 corporate sponsors that have helped us with this, and the need is great. You know, we probably could have filled about another 250 backpacks based on the requests that we had this year.
This is the 6th year the Tiny Hands Foundation has held this event, and organizers say it only gets bigger every year. A pillar of knowledge here on the Suncoast, Selby Library is celebrating 20 years today. In 1907, the first library was located on the southwest corner of Main Street and Pineapple Avenue before it was relocated several times. Then it was named the Selby Library in 1976 to honor a gift from the William G. and Marie Selby Foundation. Finally, in 1988, the current library building opened up at the prominent downtown location right across from Five Points Park. Well, still to come here on ABC 7, the Trump administration's immigration policies take a hit in court. What this means for the future of DACA. Plus, after heavy wind and rain hit part of the East Coast, a look at the damage.
So, how many of us feel completely confident about our financial future? Let's hear some specifics. Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to be a burden to my kids. When my husband died, it took almost all of our savings to give him a proper funeral. I honestly don't know if there's enough to bury me, let alone cover expenses should something happen.
Okay. Let's talk solutions. One thing you may want to get in place is a guaranteed whole life insurance policy from United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, which is a Mutual of Omaha company. This is affordable coverage, which provides a cash payment which can cover funeral expenses, bills, and other financial needs. Most payments are on their way within 24 hours. Yes, sir.
I need medical exams, things like that.
No medical exams. If you're between the ages of 45 and 85, you can call this number, or you can go online and apply for coverage up to $25,000. United of Omaha Guaranteed Whole Life Insurance. Call or go online now.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system could make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now, SoClean.com has released the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer, risk-free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
The SoClean works, and it's a really effective product, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to use.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks, destroying CPAP germs and bacteria without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away. Voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
Until recently, getting older meant losing your energy, memory, sex drive, even gaining weight, but it doesn't have to.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jenny Wilkins, owner of Age Vital Pharmacy Research and Wellness. Reversing or slowing the effects of aging can be as simple as supplementing vitamins, minerals, and hormones that your body needs in order to look and feel young again. At Age Vital, we do this without taking harmful prescription drugs that often have a longer list of side effects than benefits. Growing older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Age well, Age Vital.
The president's immigration policy getting blowback this week in 2 separate courts. On Friday, a federal judge ruling the DACA program must be resumed, and in the other, a judge deciding the Trump administration is solely responsible for reuniting hundreds of children with their parents. Those families separated at the U.S.-Mexico border. With more, here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
President Trump's immigration policy suffering 2 legal setbacks this past week. A federal judge ruling that the administration must restore DACA, an Obama-era program offering deportation relief for some 700,000 undocumented immigrants brought to the country as children, known as dreamers.
Some people call it dreamers. It's not dreamers. Don't fall into that trap.
The White House has 20 days to appeal that decision. The president suggesting he's willing to go all the way to the Supreme Court. Ali Tarabi, a DACA recipient from Iran, has lived in San Diego for 22 years.
Having this back and forth where one day we don't know if we're going to have any protections and we're up potentially could get deported or detained, to telling us, well, yeah, we'll keep the protections. It's difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's really emotionally difficult.
Judge John Bates, a George W. Bush appointee, is the 3rd judge to order that the program be restarted. Bates calling the president's decision to end DACA last September arbitrary and capricious and inadequately explained. In another setback, the White House losing its argument that the ACLU and other charities should carry the burden of reunifying those remaining 572 children separated from their parents at the southern border. The judge saying it is the sole responsibility of the Trump administration, adding that for each unresolved case, there will be a permanently orphaned child. And that is 100% the responsibility of the administration. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, New York.
President Donald Trump also taking aim at a CNN anchor and basketball star LeBron James. Friday night, Trump tweeting, quote, "LeBron James was just interviewed by the dumbest man on television, Don Lemon. He made LeBron look smart, which isn't easy to do." He ended that tweet with, "I like Mike," possibly a reference to the ongoing debate over who is the greatest NBA player of all time, James or Michael Jordan. Well, some new images into the newsroom tonight after severe weather overnight battered the East Coast from New York to Maine. People there now dealing with stranded cars and flooded roadways, while in Massachusetts, tornado damage is forcing people from their homes. Officials say 2 of the buildings with tornado damage will have to be completely torn down. And we welcome back Steve Newman to our weekend shows here on ABC 7. And Steve, not dealing with too many tornadoes, rain, but a lot of heat today.
A lot of heat. And Wendy's taking the weekend off. She'll be back next week. And boy, what a time to be out in the sun. It's just broiling on top of you. Let's take a look at what it did look like. If you've got some breaks from the clouds, it was nice. And there was one passing shower that just skirted downtown Sarasota, moving offshore during the day. It pretty much shows the weather picture all day long with hit and miss showers and temperatures feeling like they're about 100. Right now at Sarasota Bradenton Airport, 92, and believe it or not, there's actually a lower amount. The dew point is drier right now, down to 69. We were in the 70s the last few days, so the humidity is 47%. So it shouldn't feel as warm as it does, but boy, if you're out in that sun just beating down on you, it was a very hot day. And the flow continues to blow in from the Atlantic, and it was so strong today it actually kept the Gulf Coast sea breeze at bay. It tried to come in, but that flow kept pushing it offshore, so we didn't get that collision of thunderstorms. What we're getting are thunderstorms that are developing in the interior and moving offshore. One in particular was just off of Charlotte Harbor. You can just see it blossoming there. Look at it on radar, and you can see how the lightning during that blossoming happens. Look at it, just an explosion of lightning as it's moving offshore. Models are predicting maybe more storms tonight moving over us, not all that heavy, hit and miss. But that flow is really coming from a slightly different direction. So we're drying out as far as the chance of thunder showers, down to about 30% the next few days. It's a result of this high pressure. The Bermuda High has been drifting northward, and it's so far north now that it's affecting our chance of rain. Also, we saw that severe weather. That is ending, and things are drying up all along the Atlantic coast. Out west, it is hot. 83 at Kansas City right now. It's 109 in Phoenix. Very cool in San Francisco with 72, 69 at the airport there. Look how hot, though, it is in the desert. It's 112 at Needles, 110 at Yuma. And that heat goes all the way up California, fueling the fire danger there. And you can see in this GOES satellite image the smoke plume from the Yosemite fire that's closed that national park. Another one up in Redding that caused all that damage, the Carr fire. And this fire in the northern part of the wine country today has been producing a plume of smoke, and you can just see it blossoming. That's Clear Lake right there, the wine country, Napa down through there. If anything, it's going to get hotter and drier out there. There's no relief for the extreme fire danger out west. go from the heat and dry to the tropics, and things are looking relatively quiet across the Atlantic and should continue to do that. There's a little area of disturbed weather in the Western Caribbean, does not show any threat of developing into a tropical feature at all, and the Gulf of Mexico also remaining clear. So right now we have no threat of any tropical storm development. We really would expect it to wait until late August into September as we really start to see the tropics heat up. Here's our futurecast through tonight. Once the storms go by, things will calm down. This is noon tomorrow. We'll start off with a dry morning, and then during the afternoon, a repeat of what we're seeing today. And then things calm down Sunday night into Monday morning. And then Monday afternoon, another area of showers and thunderstorms. But it's only about a 30% day to day. If you're on the water tomorrow, get out there far. East wind in the morning, north wind in the afternoon to 5 knots, seas 2 feet or less. Band inland waters a light chop. That beach temperature, if you can find a beach that does not have respiratory problems because of red tide, it'll be 90 degrees. Here's a 7-day outlook, and it shows that 30% chance of showers and thunder showers will last right on through the early part of the week, perhaps a little higher amount on Wednesday, Thursday, and next weekend maybe a greater chance of thunderstorms. But with these temperatures hovering in the low 90s, it's going to feel more like 100 each and every day. Adam?
Now, sports.
Former Manatee High School football standout is using his old stomping grounds to prepare for an uphill climb back into the sport. Here's Cord Sandberg throwing to current Hurricane receivers at a practice on Friday. Sandberg recently announced he'd be restarting his football career at Auburn University after a 6-year minor league baseball stint with the Phillies. Auburn opened football camp on Friday, but according to the Alabama Media Group, Sandberg is skipping the first 2 days to attend his brother's wedding. Doesn't mean he can't get some much needed reps, though. Hopefully Sandberg's return to football goes better than Johnny Football, the 2013 Heisman Trophy winner, starting his first game in nearly 3 years for the Montreal Alouettes in the Canadian Football League, and on the second play of the game, his first interception, and it got so much worse after that for the former first-round pick to the Cleveland Browns, throwing not 1, not 2, but 3 more interceptions in that game.
Happened in football. That was the most picks I've ever thrown in a game, and it's humbling. You know, that's the way football is.
Johnny Manziel
was finally pulled in the fourth quarter with his team trailing 47-3. The head coach says he will start next week, but he finished that game 11 for 20 passing for just 104 yards and no touchdowns. In Bradenton, baseball fans are celebrating another cheeky night at Lecom Park. You may remember Star Wars night a couple weeks back. Well, tonight it's Nickelodeon night, along with back to school night. But as you can see from these jerseys, SpongeBob, the popular Nickelodeon cartoon, is very much a part of that theme. Plus a meet and greet with those life-size versions around the stadium. Due to rain, though, that first pitch against the Clearwater Threshers has been pushed back to 8 o'clock. Still to come here on ABC 7, how you can help Northport officials name their newest park.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you, with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991. Now, in one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch ABC 7 wherever you are, on our live stream, on mysuncoast.com, on the ABC 7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, dining with recipes, and My Suncoast Restaurant Guide. Visit mysuncoast.com. Click on the Apps tab to download the ABC 7 My Suncoast app for Apple and Android.
I just need a second.
Is your weight holding you back and affecting your health?
Did you see this? Your cousin had a heart attack.
Really?
Excess weight or obesity can be serious, but you can do something about it. Visit yourweightmatters.org. Download the free toolkit to prepare you to speak with a healthcare provider. Your weight does matter. Accept the challenge and take charge today. Visit yourweightmatters.org.
The city of Northport is narrowing down possibilities on what to name a future playground for those with disabilities, and now they're asking for your help. The playground is currently under construction at the Garden of the Five Senses off Pan American Boulevard. Officials have narrowed down their choices to over 100 names, and they're asking you to choose and cast your vote. Some of those names include Merry-Go-Round, Free to Be Me, Owl Feather Park, and King Park. A link to where you can vote is up right now on mysuncoast.com.
I vote for Owl Feather Park. That is one of the coolest names I've ever heard.
I have a feeling that the four we just mentioned on camera are probably going to be the most popular since there are over 100 apparently left. I've never walked into a multiple choice question with over 100, but that seems daunting.
We shouldn't be partial, but that's my vote.
And we'll see you at 11. Join us again.
Me, pick me. Oh, come on, man. Oh, man, I love technology. Hey, yo, check out my new phone. Look at this right here. For years, the DeSoto Club has needed improvements. Join me and Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County as we raise money to build a brand new facility. It will be bigger and better, just like it was 40 years ago when I attended. Invest in kids, build great futures.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.